Hi guys, it's me, Omar, NHS hero. So I've been a doctor for 10 years, more than 10 years, and there's at least 10 things I wish I knew before. Let's get on with them. Junior doctor learns a lot of what they know in catchy phrases. Catchy phrases they once heard of one registrar once. Here's my top 3 phrases which have helped me. 1 is do things that move things. Do something that's going to move the patient journey forward and not just something that's stalling for time. 2, on-call gospel. Get lunch when you have a chance because you don't know if you'll get a chance later. Jacket potato is my favourite.
Cheese and beans, or you cheese and tuna?
Cheese and beans, with the cheese first, so the cheese melts. 3, they're paid to be on call. Otherwise, you might be a junior doctor who leaves 26 missed calls on a registrar's phone because they're worried it could be septic arthritis, but they don't want to speak to the consultant. One thing that people don't realise is that being a doctor is a lot better than being a medical student, and that's partly because of the responsibility. Responsibility is what makes it a real job where you're making a real difference, but also the responsibility of being part of the team with a named role on the rota. This is when you get to feel useful, which is one of the best things about being a doctor. So lean into your responsibility. Don't be a work shirk and avoid things that make you worried. One thing I wish I'd done a little bit earlier is to be more happy doing things I wasn't sure about instead of being scared to feel exposed or look dumb in front of people. The more you do things that scare you, and things are only scary once, the better you'll be and the more useful you'll be and the better you'll feel. This is quite a simple point. Medicine is more fun the more you know. Breaking in a job is like breaking in a pair of shoes. Front load that process. The sooner in your placement that you look up all the words you're not sure about, ask people what that name of a procedure means, the sooner you're going to pass that critical threshold beyond which you feel a little bit calmer, a bit more comfortable and enjoy things. Any job, front load your learning. Please make it a part of your practice that you follow up on nearly all of your patients. Otherwise, you're just throwing basketballs at the hoop and you're not even looking to see if they go in or not. I have a system. So my right pocket has the list of the day of patients I'm seeing, and another pocket may or may not have a list of patients I saw on a different day. But obviously that's illegal. I'm just saying. Don't report me. Sometimes people think they should only follow up on the interesting ones. You can only recognize what's interesting when you know the bread and butter. The amount of diagnostic skills I've gained from following up my patients and seeing what actually came about is, it's a lot. Obviously, that's the point. Obviously, remember to keep yourself hydrated at work, so I always like to carry some water with me in my pocket. One thing the junior doctor portfolio teaches you is this really useless kind of medicalese. I will look to seek further opportunities to do cannulas. This was a very interesting and useful learning opportunity. When really we know most medical learning happens in human. Small conversations and observations and details that don't always make it to the notes. So please, I encourage and implore you, lower your threshold of what you're happy to talk about with your colleagues. Brave enough to say, I don't actually know. Or, sorry, what does that mean? Oh my God, I can't believe this doctor stopped this patient's warfarin with a metallic heart valve. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Why can't you stop warfarin if they have a metallic valve? Or why can't you give trimethoprim in the first trimester? Trust me, if you're the guy who says you don't know, you're going to be the one who makes everyone else breathe a sigh of relief. He doesn't know either. Normalize a culture in which it's okay to say you don't know. Honestly, I always don't know. I often don't know. When I was at one hospital about 4 years ago, an A&E consultant talked to me about imposter syndrome. We all have it. We all feel like, oh my God, I must be the dumbest doctor here. You're not. I am. It's very easy to fear being exposed as a dumbass doctor you are, with all the blind spots that people don't know about, to the extent that it compromises your own learning. You don't engage with things, you don't put yourself in certain situations. We're all learning this together. It's fine. If you care enough to do a good job and to learn, you're not an imposter. In the beginning, you're very conscious that you don't want to be a doctor wuss, making a fuss or asking too many questions or inappropriately admitting patients. Mate, I just discharged this guy with abdo pain. He was in agony. But it's your job to be worried. And in the beginning, you don't know what is and isn't significant. So please, be safe, be cautious, ask if you don't know. It's fine. Here's 3 easy ways to make bad decisions. Right? Don't say nice. Ready? A nurse was a bit sarcastic to you, so now you're worried about asking her to give the sepsis drugs now. 2, that consultant always makes you feel dumb, so you're going to just buy time in the department strolling around till a different consultant comes in. 3, you feel like you've already given the night doctor enough handover jobs, so you think this one probably isn't that important, you don't have to tell them, and you're just going to worry about it on the way home. My point is, it's very easy to catch yourself prioritizing social smoothness over patient care. And one of the best things I've learned to do is to catch myself in these moments and push past that friction. Bloody hell, I've made a whole other video about this. I'm literally saying it like I said in my other video. Anyway, there's a whole video about this. You can check it out. Something I feel quite strongly about is that medicine is a broad church, and there's lots of different types of people in it, obviously, but also there's lots of different things you're allowed to like in it. I think in the beginning there's an impression that you have to like the, dramatic stuff, like, oh my god, it's so exciting to do chest drains, oh my god, it's so cool, I gotta go to recess and do this. When really, you might be someone who just enjoys the satisfaction of a good handover. Or you might be someone who likes explaining things to a patient in such a clear, crystalline way that's practically a physical intervention. It's their body, they should know what's going on here. Or you might be someone who likes running a tight ship on the ward. Everybody known, all issues addressed. One medical registrar I worked with said that the ward round for medics is like the theatre to surgeons. That's when you can pick up on small details that were different from yesterday. That's where you can see how the families are interacting and pick up on all the small clues. You can like what you like. Lean into what you like. My favourite thing in medicine is a good catch. The small pivot moments, that tiny detail that you bothered asking about around which the whole diagnosis changed. What was this thing you overheard from a nurse 2 weeks ago that made you remember this? What was the offhand comment from a wife as you were walking away that their husband also had leg numbness? It's my favourite thing. It might not be my favourite thing. I also like, what else do I like? Wearing Converse at work. The important thing is when the crash bleep or the buzzer goes off, you have to get to emergencies quickly. So I recommend you carry Converse with you at any point so you can just quickly sprint.
This is Shifah just having an ASMR break. Tell me if you can hear this. Oops. Sugar.
Cannulas is a hot topic. Why are you laughing? Cannulas are really hard when you start, but as with anything, you have to fail your way to success. You just have to do loads. Don't be scared of them. If someone asks you to do them, have a go. It's only when you've done hundreds and thousands of cannulas, good and bad, hard and easy, missed and successful, that you get the feel for these things. That slight give as you actually get into a vein. 3, watch other people do them when you can't. Only by watching people do you get that kind of borrowed kinesthetic learning of seeing the small tricks and tips of how to do it. Watch as many things as you can and you'll get better faster. I've got a video about that as well, actually. I've got a really good video. It's really good. It's got this French music in it. If you're worried about something, start off with the thing you're most worried about. Prime the conversation. So you go to a doctor or a senior and you say, I'm worried about this patient. Or, I think this patient is sick. And suddenly the whole conversation is calibrated. Don't bury the lead, as they say in journalism. 54-year-old, 2 cats and dogs and went to Tokyo before and by the way, I think they're dying. Don't make it a secret. Don't make it a surprise. It's not a twist ending like in a movie. Medicine is reverse stand-up. You start with the punchline. Once a girl who'd taken a paracetamol overdose nearly discharged herself because I'd said she was only slightly above the treatment line, and I only realised that was the word that clinched it later on. Words make a difference. Stresses make a difference. Pay attention to how other people take histories, ask questions, leave their pauses, because clerking is verbal surgery, and you can get better at it if you see other people do it. As we all know, the only way that doctors learn anything is by mnemonics, like the ATE approach, or Danish pastries for cerebral stroke. So one that I'd like you to remember is DBAD, which is don't be a dick. It's a hard enough job as it is. If someone makes a mistake, don't be a dick. If someone doesn't know something, don't be a dick. If someone needs some help at handover or didn't get something done or they're asking you something a bit annoying, don't be a dick. If someone is a dick, don't be a dick as well. If someone's a dick, don't be a dick. You don't need 2 dicks. It's a 1-dick system. The point is, it's part of your job to be approachable. And if you're nice and approachable, people come to you with the cool stuff, the fun stuff. And you just get to be a nice, valued member of the ward, which is one of the most, fun feelings in medicine. I've seen junior doctors cry because of patient upsetting situations. I've seen people cry because of how consultants have spoken to them. This is me being vulnerable here, I once got upset and bit tearful about 3 a.m. on a night shift because I listened to an acoustic cello version of Sabrina Carpenter's Exhale. Is that useful?
Yeah.
Is that useful?
Very.
take it from me, you'll never regret actually bothering to do the thing that comes to your mind. And you'll often regret not doing it. You'll just go home, be worried about it on the way home, wake up in the middle of the night, call the ward at 3 a.m, call a patient whilst they're at work and ask about their testicle because you're worried it could be torsion. Be heroically detailed, heroically bothered. I remember once when I was in a ward, we had a junior doctor and she used to come around in the night shifts and she'd do these gorgeous, elegant summaries of what happened to a patient. I slightly fancied her. But more than that, when she reviewed one of our sick patients, she'd trawl through the old notes and pick up on small details or miscultures or whatever that we'd forgotten about and reweave them back into the patient's story. That kind of thoroughness and detail is where medicine really happens. It might not look glamorous, it might not be exciting, but that is where so much good medicine happens. So if in doubt, err on the side of bothered, err on the side of detail. Pick up the ringing phone in the ward. Only joking, I'm not a saint. I actually do that. So a high percentage of my job basically boils down to my colleagues. It's nice to work with people who are nice. They are the furniture of my shift. Do your part to make a nice work environment. Be a couch. So guys, 1, I've been cat sitting, important. Number 2, I think this video is finally coming together, which is quite a relief because I've had lots and lots of years of notes which I've always wanted to make into an alternative junior doctor induction kind of thing. So I hope it's useful. At its best, I love being a junior doctor. I love having a role, a purpose and a community. And I hope this video makes it even a little bit better or more fun for you guys too. Thanks. Hang on. Good points.